Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma 3, welcome back to SOG Prairie Fire, and I'm in the Mike Force game mode here, but in this video I wanted to talk about how you can add more squad members to your SOG AI Squad, and we're even going to look at how you can add some air support to follow you around as well. Now, in order for this to work, not only must you have SOG AI installed, but also the simple single player cheat menu mod, and I'll put a link to this in the description below the video. Now this will only work when you're playing on solo missions, so when you're doing like the campaign, or if you're doing Mike Force on a locally hosted server, but it can be a lot of fun and gives you quite a bit more firepower. However, the thing you need to remember is the more AI you add to your game, that's going to put an awful lot of stress on the CPU for your PC, so you'll probably find that your FPS and your performance in general sort of goes down. So this is my crew here, and they're in a nice sort of defensive position before we go off and attack some NVA positions. So what I can do is, if I press M to bring up the map and load the simple single player cheat menu, and the cheats will come up, we can go to Zeus and we can enable the Zeus Editor. And now what we can do is we can just press Y, and there we go. So there's the Zeus Editor. Let's see where my players are. Right, we're over here, so let's come down, and here we go. So now we've got our group here, and what you can see in the Zeus Editor, you can see the relationship between me and my buddies. They've all got these lines linking to us, and with Zeus we can now spawn more soldiers in, and what we can do is we can link them to me. So what we do, so let's go down, so let's add some Australians, shall we, from so let's add an auto rifleman. So if we click on that and then click there's an auto rifleman. Now at the moment he's in his own squad, Bravo 36, but if we press control and left mouse button, we can drag him so he becomes, let's get him to do that, part of mine. Is he part of me now? Yes, he's now swapped to me, so now he's under my one. If you can't quite see the line, but he's definitely there. So let's do it with another one as well. So let's add a medic. Let's drop him in and press control and left mouse button. Just take that to there, and you can see how he's become part of my squad. So let's do a scout. So let's drop him in there, and then let's press left control, left mouse button, and drag that, drop it onto me. And then how about a grenadier? So let's drop him into there, press left control, left mouse button, drag that, and drop it onto me. So they're all part of my squad now. And in fact, if you look in the bottom of the screen and we press F11, or is it F12 to move along, we can now see that I have now got 14 people in my squad, including myself. So if I press 11 to go back, you can see there they all are. Then F12 to move on. So now what I can do is, if I press tab, follow me, with a bit of luck, there's an Aussie, they will all start following me. Now what you do find is that, because the way that AI works and the way that SOG AI works, for example, often they kind of make decisions one by one, and then they all start following you and doing what they're meant to be doing. So let's say let's form a file behind me. But now we've got 14 players in our squad. We have a considerable amount of firepower when it comes to taking on the enemy. I mean, look at us all. How cool is that? And you could keep going and add more and more and more, but your frames per second definitely do suffer. But the beauty of that is, obviously, when you're playing solo Mike Force, you need all of the firepower you can get when you're taking on these areas and you get ambushed by large numbers of enemy soldiers. Now, there is more that we can do, and I kind of encourage you to kind of play around with this, but let's say, okay, everybody lay up.
Move up, down and
And then
quiet.
just bring up the, press Y to get back into the menu. Now what we can do as well, if we go up to where we are, we can drop in a helicopter. So let's have a look. So let's drop in a MAC-V helicopter. There we go. See, a Cobra gunship. There we go. I'm not sure. CAS, close air support. So let's drop him in there. And then if we press left control and left mouse button and drag that over onto me, so he's connected to me. And the trick with the helicopters is to left click and press Alt and put them into the sky. And there we go. So now he's tied to us, so that as we wander around, he's going to follow us along. We can even do this with planes. So we could even take an F4 Phantom, for example, drop that in. Let's put him somewhere better. Like that. Left click, left control, drag him onto me. Press Alt, drag him into the sky. There he goes. And now, when we start wandering along, we're going to have an F4 Phantom following us and a helicopter gunship as well. Kind of probably wouldn't recommend the F4 Phantom, but gunships definitely are worth doing because they do attack enemies, and also because we do have SOG AI, remember, we can call in radio support anyway to call in airstrikes to help us as we deal with lots of different enemies. So there we go. What do you think? I know it's a little bit of cheating, but the fact that you can have these massive squads with which to play Mike Force, it's absolutely fantastic, I think, and it really is really cool when you're taking on these enemies with this whole mini army of soldiers. So I'll put all these links in the description below the video. What do you think? If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.